Hey everybody, it's Becky, and I have some secret sauce for you today. We're going to be talking about Master Homeschool Goals. If you don't know what you're shooting for with homeschooling, you're going to find that you're constantly spinning your wheels. And this is so core to when I look at our five boys and where they are in life now. These master homeschool goals have been in place since the day my husband found me crying at the kitchen table surrounded by four different curriculums because the baby wasn't ready for curriculum yet. I was overwhelmed and I was looking at these different sets of curriculum and I realized I can't do it. Homeschooling is way too hard. It's too overwhelming. There is no way that I can teach all of the kids where they are and make sure that they succeed in life. So I was a mess. And my husband walked up to me and he's like, "Babe, why are you crying? What's going on?" And I explained, "I can't do it. I can't teach all these kids. It's too much," but whining. And he's like, "Breathe. We just need solid goals, babe. It has nothing to do with curriculum." And then he asked me the magic question. Ready? By the time the kids graduate high school, what do we want them to know? And I went, huh, that's an excellent question. So I put school aside for a couple days. Both of us did, and we chewed on what are our master homeschool goals. And this was before 2012 or something. It was a long time ago. And I found earlier videos of myself, and our goals have never changed since then. So I want to show you, I have a spot called Homeschooling with Secret Sauce. And inside this membership group, there's all kinds of goodies. But I'm going to be adding these homeschool goal type materials right here under lesson planning and more. And there's all kinds of stuff in here already, resources and training and tips and freebies and all kinds of stuff. Or I guess freebies is the wrong word, but there's all kinds of resources in there. And the link to Secret Sauce is wherever the descriptions are. But these master homeschool goals have guided and directed our teaching, mentoring, and discipling of our five sons all through the course of homeschooling. So I'm an archer. Surprise, bow and arrow. Actually, we all are. One time I looked out the window and I saw my husband shooting archery with all five of our sons, and I went, don't shoot archery and watch through the window. Join them and have fun. And I chose to join them. So we're archers. And so that means that the idea of having a target and aiming for it is very familiar to us. And so using that image, using that analogy, I guess, as that you're shooting towards a target, by the time your kids graduate from high school, what is it that you want them to know? What is it that you want to pass on to them? All of us have a target that looks just like this. Oh, the stuff might be different, but you're going to see that this is pretty, it's transferable from my house to your house. So inside your homeschool master goal target is this center circle. Now yours is going to be different than ours, maybe, but this is the core of who you are as a family. What is it that you believe in? What is your faith center? What is your worldview? That is what goes in the center of your homeschool goals. So being a Christian, and that's my husband and my major goal, is that we raise our kids up in the way they should go. For us, our Christian faith goes in the middle. It may be different for you, and that's okay. But whatever the core of your family is, that's what goes in the middle. So I'm just going to write the word faith. And that also includes relationships and life skills and, all the stuff that makes wonderful human beings be wonderful human beings. When you're talking about master homeschool curriculum, I need you to understand it has nothing to do with curriculum. And that should be terrifying and freeing at the same time, because it's September right now while I'm shooting this video. So your inbox and mine is filled with take this class, grab this deal, these books, these sets, these things that your kids need to do in order to be successful. It's 2022 at the time that I'm shooting this video. That means that if you throw a topic out at your kids, within 5 minutes, they can hit the internet and tell you more about it it's ridiculous, the amount of information. Instead, it's more important that we teach our kids how to learn rather than what to learn. So with this idea of master homeschool goals, you start with your faith and then you need to take the time to do this. My husband and my goals are very simple and straightforward, and you may have more than just these core goals, but these goals have been what we filter everything we do through before we present it to our kids. So we start with faith, and then the very next thing that we do, and if you hop on at any time, please drop down in the comments and let me know where you're from. Let me know if this resonates for you. And if you enjoy these types of materials, these types of trainings, it'll help me help you in the future. So we start with the faith. The next thing that we focus on in our family is I'm just going to write basic math. And I'm writing sideways, so bear with me. This means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, percentages, decimals, measuring. You know, the kind of math that you need in order to thrive in life. If you're going to go buy fertilizer for the lower 40 field, how much do you need to buy if it's this length by this width and you want it this deep, right? The stuff that your kids are actually going to use to balance their budgets, to figure out whether or not 20% off a can of something that they want to buy is a better deal than $1 off the product next to it. You know, practical math. Out of all 5 of my kids, only one is a mathematician. Only one. Only one. But all 5 of them need to add, subtract, multiply, divide, know how to triple a recipe because we're a big family, etc. So for us, our basic math facts, getting that arithmetic stuff done inside and out was paramount and foundational for our kids. And then if what they want to do in life requires higher math, God invented college professors to teach things like calculus. In my house, I'm not a mathematician, so I leave that to the professionals. But basic math, right? Super core. So we've got faith, we've got basic math. The very next thing that we focused on, and we're like, okay, we want our kids to just be marinated in excellent literature. And I mean marinated. So I'm going to write marinate. If I spell wrong, judge me. Marinate in excellent literature. Together, we read aloud to our kids until they move out. There's no magic, oh, I can read to myself, so therefore mom doesn't need to read to me anymore. We marinate in excellent literature. We enjoy the same stories. We listen to audiobooks. We talk about them. And I say marinate because over the course of the years, I've gone from being a lousy cook to an excellent cook, and adding 1 or 2 recipes a month over the past 32 years of marriage turns a lousy cook into an amazing cook. Long time, lots of trial and error. But one of the things that makes a meat amazing is marinating it, because all of the seasoning seeps into the meat and tenderizes it and becomes part of this amazing flavor, right? Well, literature does the same thing for our kids. It marinates them in vocabulary and ideas and curiosity. It carries them away to places that they can't travel to right at this moment. And it exposes them to ideas and people and places and problems and challenges and all the things right in the safety of your home. And so marinating in excellent literature, if you stopped right there, faith, basic math, and excellent literature, your kids are going to be ahead of the game, guaranteed. Because the way that you develop vocabulary and compassion and kindness is that you marinate in it and you practice it. And so as they're hearing these stories repeated over their brains and you're discussing it, and you pause at a climactic part to say, wow, that's a challenge. How do you think they're going to overcome it? Well, now you're giving them the ability to troubleshoot and problem solve and kind of role play right there in safety. So marinating in excellent literature does more than just take up an hour of your day or 15 minutes of your busy day. It allows vocabulary and ideas to wash over and sink into the heart and imagination of your kids, and it's priceless. So, focusing on these core things really impact your kids over the course of the journey. Now, the last goal that my husband and I have always had for our kids is we look at our sons and we think, okay, we want our sons to be able to communicate clearly. And that means that they need to write clearly in a way that doesn't stumble their reader, and they need to be able to stand in front of others and express themselves orally. So, developing excellent communication is a core goal. Communication, excellent communication. And that is in writing. That's a W, that's not an E. Don't judge me. There's a writing and orally. It's so important today that people can look at each other and they can identify who they're talking to. Who is their audience, right? Why are they going to be delivering an idea either on paper or online or in front of a crowd, in front of people? So who is it that they're talking to? What is the purpose of what it is that they're saying? Is it to invite? Is it to entertain? Is it to inform? Is it to persuade? And then what is the specialized language needed in order to do that? Right? This core of excellent communication comes with the three no-nos of writing. Know your audience, know the purpose of what you're doing, and know the specialized language. This is a lost art today. Can we all say, yes, it's a lost art? People just throw their opinions at everybody, and there's no respect. There's no tuning into who they're talking to. If there's specialized language, it's really special and it's hurtful. And so we really want to train up our kids in a way that communicates to the people around them in a way that their words and ideas are received, right? We want to teach our kids to thrive in life and not just exist, right? You and I want to do more than just exist. We want to thrive. So when you're talking about your master homeschool goals, you pour yourself a cup of something yummy. Doesn't matter what it is. Coffee, tea, lemonade, juice, doesn't matter. Could even be something sparkly. Take the time over the next week and figure out, well, what are my master homeschool goals? If you're married, talk to your spouse. By the time the kids graduate from high school, what are the things that we want them to learn? And so for us, this basic math facts is paramount because we're big on teaching about, money management and how to cook and how to measure once and, measure twice, cut once type thing. So we take the time over the next couple of days and figure out, what is it that I want the kids to know with math? It's not page 47. It's just not. It's not lesson 42. It's just not. It's what are the fundamental goals? When I mentor moms inside the Homeschool with Secret Sauce over in that membership group, some of the moms really crack me up. They're like, Bekki, we tried to make it just 4 goals, but we have like 6. Is that okay? They're your goals. You make them your own, but take the time to step away from the curriculum, away from the drama of public opinion and scrutiny, and start to decide, well, what is it that we want our kids to learn? Some people might have in here, they might have artistic things where that's a core goal because maybe they're professional musicians or professional artists and they want to pass that on to their kids. Once you have your master homeschool goals, so think about this for a second. If these in fact are my goals, which they are, and now I look at something like, okay, I would like for my son to take, instead of a traditional writing class, I'm going to have him take a blogging workshop with my professional blogging coach, and I'm going to have him learn how to communicate online. Does that line up with our basic homeschool goals? Well, it shares this idea of being an excellent communicator in written form and reaching the heart. So yeah, it falls into our homeschool goals. So at the end of the day, it's an excellent idea. If I say, well, my next door neighbor says I need to teach my kids how to, um, how to vet a source, go, okay, that's an excellent idea, Mr. Neighbor, but does it fall into my homeschool goals? It does if I want to speak truth, if I want my kids to speak truth. So the idea is that you can look at things and you can say, hey, this lines up with where it is we're heading in our homeschool journey. And if it lines up, then it can earn a place at your kitchen table. Just because it could fit doesn't mean that it should fit. So, do you have your Master Homeschool Goals in place? Have you discovered this secret sauce of this is freedom? Once you know that it's not whether it's Sunlight Curriculum or Beautiful Feet or Abeka or Sing, Spell, Read, and Write or any of the other curriculums that are out there. It doesn't matter what it is, Saxton Math, Matthew C, and I'm scribbling because scribbling is healthy. It doesn't matter what the curriculum is. The curriculum sellers would not like me to tell you that, but it doesn't matter. Does it help you reach your Master Homeschool Goals? If it does, if it serves you, great. If it doesn't, push it aside. Find something that suits your Master Homeschool Goals. This is secret sauce. It's secret sauce because it gives you freedom in your homeschooling. It gives you the control over what your kids are doing in the way that you always thought that homeschooling would. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have your goals, then you're controlled by your curriculum. You don't know what you're shooting for, so you feel like you have to do every lesson. You feel like you have to complete every unit. You feel like you have to do all the things that are listed in the teacher's manual. It's just not true. When you know what the goal is, you can look at a math lesson and you can say, you know what? You know this already. Let's take it outside and practice with sidewalk chalk and let's mark off math for today because this is good. You're done. Or you can skip until you hit something that they don't know. Does that make sense? Gives you so much freedom when you're aiming at a goal and you're marching in that direction rather than just doing the next thing, doing the next thing. Now, if you're in a season of Bekki, I can't think about this right now. Life is way too crazy. I want you to cut yourself some grace. Okay. Just cut a big old slice of grace. Understand that you'll have time to circle back and do this later. After 25 years of homeschooling, some of the years, some of the months, some of the weeks were just do the next lesson, do the next lesson. But we always circle back to our Master Homeschool Goals. So I'm going to encourage you to do the same. I'm going to encourage you to find the core of why you homeschool, to write the goals down, to share them with someone, kind of like for accountability. If you're inside secret sauce, find the lesson inside secret sauce. It's going to be in this section. And then in the comments underneath, it'll be right underneath this teaching multiple kids. Find that section and then write, hey, these are my new Master Homeschool Goals. It helps to say them out loud. So I repeated these to the kids every year, multiple times a year. The math is not the curriculum. The goal is that you understand your math facts. The writing assignment is not the goal. That's the curriculum. The goal is that you are an excellent communicator. And think about that for a second. And I'll close with this. If your goal is that your kids are excellent communicators and you're looking at a writing assignment in a book that you bought at some garage sale or yard sale down the street, and you're looking at an assignment and your kids are dying, they're like, I don't want to do this. You look at it and you go, okay, well, what is the purpose of this piece of writing? What is it that when you do this and you do it well, what will you have communicated? Will you have informed somebody something? Will you have persuaded somebody to do something? Will you have just created a list about something? That would be the goal. Who would be the person that this would be for? That would be the audience. And would you need any specialized language in order to communicate this idea? Done. You don't have to write the assignment. Sometimes the best way to teach excellent communication is just have the conversation. So, master homeschool goals, do you have them? I would love to hear what your master homeschool goals. If you're struggling, consider following the link and joining Secret Sauce for a month and connecting with me on the phone. I would love to spend some time with you on the phone and help you develop your master homeschool goals, or at least push you in the right direction so that you can then do them on your own. That's it. Have a wonderful day. Get those master homeschool goals in place so that the curriculum doesn't run your life. And I will see you soon.